Why does it feel wrong to eat dogs for most people in the western side of the world? First, let's examine our relationship with dogs. We all basically know somebody that has a dog. We've all played with a dog. We've seen dogs since we were young. And we recognize that dogs are beings that are capable of loving and that want to live. And they have wants and needs just like us. We see a little bit of us in them. Now, what makes them different from other animals that we do eat, such as chickens, pigs, cows, fish? We have less of a relationship with these animals. We have less of an opportunity to see the same things that we have within ourselves in them. We don't really go and play with cows, even though cows and dogs are not so different, even though we and cows are not so different. If you think about it, at our true core, we are all the same thing. We're not humans, we're a conscious awareness. You're an awareness within a human body. And a cow and a pig have the same amount of choice being born into their body as you did to come into your body, into your life. And we condemn them for it. And we kill them and we eat them for it. Cows are revered in other cultures and dogs are eaten. This is for the same reason. It's just we're picking and choosing which animals we want to love and which ones we're going to pretend don't have feelings. Which ones we're going to kill and eat, right? Really, there's no difference. We're all feeling beings. We all want to live. The same miracle that you are, the same miracle that you are that inhabits this body, an animal is that same miracle, the same miracle of life. We're all just life. There's a big benefit of karma for giving life to another being, for recognizing and seeing their perspective, their value. And then you gain your own. You gain that in yourself when you give that to others. Like, how many of us could play with a pig and see how intelligent they are? Because pigs are actually more intelligent than dogs and cats. And, besides, what does intelligence matter in the value of a life? We kill other humans because we're at war, and that's another separate issue, and it's just as big and important as this. But we don't say, oh, it's okay to kill them because they're stupid. Why is this doublethink only involved when it comes to animals? Why is this? We're living in 1984. We feel bad for these people in these dystopian stories, these dystopian books, but we don't turn it on ourselves. Like, realize that we feel bad for them because that's us. We love dogs and cats. Someone kicks a cat. What the fuck is wrong with you? But we put chickens in fucking coops their whole lives. They're animals that can fly. That's another miracle that we're not even capable of right now. We can't just, flap our wings and fly, and we're taking that away from them. They live their entire lives in cages so that we can eat their fucking periods. It's madness. And we're all born herbivores. We're all born vegan. It's just going back and unlearning the things that we have been taught to do, the things that we have been taught to eat. We don't have to be taught that a dog is precious. We see it. We know it from childhood. We love animals from childhood. We learn to talk by learning the sounds of animals, moo and oink. We have a connection with animals at birth. And then we lose that because we ignore it. Not because we are hateful people, but because we choose not to see once we're eating the animal, right? It feels wrong, so we ignore it. We don't want to watch the things that go down in these animal like slaughterhouses. We don't want to watch it. Why not? Because it doesn't feel right. It's not in our instincts. We're not carnivores or omnivores as much of us have been taught. Our body is purely herbivorous. We're made to eat plants and fruits. If you look at it logically, we are most connected to bonobos and gorillas by our DNA. And we're the most unhealthy beings on the planet. Why do we think that is? It's because of what we're putting in our body. It's because of our lifestyle that we're living. And one of the most important things is what you fuel yourself with. Why do we live in an obese society where so many people are like the biggest killer right now in the country is heart disease. And you can only get that if you're an herbivore. You can only get that if you're an herbivore, and that's the number one killer. We say, eating meat doesn't kill you, right? So we must be omnivorous. It kills you over time. That's another thing with the karma, it's getting to us eventually. You can't deal out all this hate and not have it come back in your own life. Just the same way you can't live with peace and not have it brought within you. Let's talk about protein first, because that's the biggest one that everybody talks about. And it's hilarious because that's just something that we've heard. That's literally the marketing that the meat and dairy and egg industry have told us. You get your protein, you need your protein. Humans have a very low need for protein.
42 grams of protein a day. Non-vegetarians get way more than they need, and so does everyone else.
We're worried too much about protein. What are we missing in the American diet? The biggest thing we're all missing is fiber. And where is that found? That's found in the fruits and vegetables. Of course that's what we're missing. Everyone tells you eat your fruits and vegetables, but when you go to talking about eating only fruits and vegetables, people think that's crazy. And it's absolutely not. That's what we came here to eat. That's what we're made to eat. That's where we optimize our body's conditions. That's the level that we're at. B12 said only to be found in animal products, right? B12, where's the animal getting it from? Where's an herbivorous animal, the cow, getting this B12 from, that when we eat them, we're getting B12? They are grazing on grass and they get dirt. B12 is from the soil. It's from decaying matter. It's from bacteria. That's where it's made. We would get it from the same place if we were living naturally. Right now, cows are not getting it from grazing unless you're having organic and grass-fed. And a lot of grass-fed is actually, they're just given the grass. They're not actually out in fields. But they're getting B12 shots. They're getting injections. So how is that any more natural than taking a B12 supplement? But anyway, we're supposed to be getting it from the soil just the way that cows would if they were allowed to live their lives naturally as well. So that's not an issue. Vitamin D from the sun. Like, if we're living more naturally, not staying inside all the time, we would be getting plenty of vitamin D, all right? There's plenty of iron and lots of vegetables. The it's natural argument, we're not living naturally anyway. It's like you think you eat meat because it's natural. It's not natural in the first place. Besides, what else are you doing just because it's natural? Are you going outside and getting your sunlight? Are you, we're operating with all this technology around us, and yet we're eating a certain way because it's natural. It's not. Most of what we're growing when it comes to soy and corn, we're feeding more than half of corn and soy to animals that we kill and eat. We already have enough food to feed the world. We're growing enough food to feed the entire world. But of course, there's people starving because we're feeding a lot of that food to animals that we're growing. The greatest factor in climate change is it's snowing. Holy shit.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Holy fucking hell.
All right. The greatest factor in climate change is animal agriculture. We are destroying the planet through what we're eating, of course. And we want to blame, corporations should be greener. We need to look at ourselves first. What are we doing that we can change, that we can help, to affect the planet? And we're just blaming it on everybody else, but really we're just as involved as the corporations in this. Cows produce methane just the way any other polluter would do, just like carbon dioxide. It's actually been shown to be worse for the planet, methane, than carbon dioxide. Another argument is that if we didn't kill animals, there would be an abundance of animals, or there would be an overpopulation of animals. Ecosystems will keep themselves in check. We are the most overpopulated animals on the planet, right? And yet we're talking again about, we want to blame it on another, species or whatever. Oh, they're in our place, they're in our area, when it's all of our area, it's all of our planet, we're all born here, we all have a right to it. One of the biggest things we do with animal products, again, because we don't want to think about what we're doing, is using euphemisms. Like meat, like beef, like bacon, like pork, like ham. We don't want to think about the things that we're eating. We're eating dead pig flesh. We're eating dead pig butt. We're eating turkey butt on Thanksgiving and stuffing. A lot of it is really nasty if you think about it. I always thought that hens' eggs were, developing babies, and they're actually just chicken periods. And that's just, that's just nasty. Milk is a big thing that most people that are not vegan don't know. What's the issue with eating milk? Why not have milk? When it comes to getting the milk, what we're doing is we're forcibly impregnating cows. So shoving their arm or a pipe up the vagina of the cow and then impregnating them every single year. They have the baby, they're producing milk. We take all the milk, the baby gets none of it. It's like we're the only animals that drink another animal's milk. Our milk is for our mom's milk is for us. The cow's milk is for the baby. It's not for us, and it's terrible for you. It's one of the worst things for you. And I know they tell you it's good because it's calcium, but the highest rates of milk consumption also correlate with the highest rates of osteoporosis. So if it's supposed to be making our bones stronger, why does our society have worse osteoporosis, or more cases of osteoporosis, than Thailand, which is eating lots more fruits and vegetables and less, other animals' milk? We stop producing lactase, which is what helps us to break down lactose as we grow older. Why? Because we're not babies anymore. We're not supposed to be drinking milk. We're not supposed to be drinking milk. Yeah, so it's just very unnatural to do that. And imagine being hooked up to a fucking milk machine as a woman every single day of your life so that your baby can be ripped apart from you, stolen from you, kept away from you so that they can't drink your milk, so that some other fucking species can drink your milk, and they don't care about you at all. They don't care about your well-being at all. You can die in a few years and they'll just eat you. And that's your life. Your life is just, I'm producing milk. When you have free will, you want to love your baby. You want to live your life and be happy, just like us all. And we take that away from other beings with free will. I was like, I'm not going vegetarian. Like, that's stupid. I'd already been taught the things like lions eat antelope, so it's okay for us to eat meat. It doesn't correlate. They're carnivores. That's what they eat. We don't run up. We can't run up to any animal, catch it in our mouth, and just start chomping on it. We can't take a bite out of a cow. We can't take a bite. We're not made for that. We just can't do that. No other omnivore, carnivore cooks their meat. We're just not made for that. So I've been taught all that stuff. I just had to unlearn it, and I recognize that if an animal can live because of me, and I'll just eat something else, it's just choosing something to eat. Here, I can eat this thing and if we were all given this choice as children know this. Like, I wanted to go vegetarian as a child. It just wasn't supported. I was encouraged to, eat your food, eat your meat, whatever. You need your protein, and this is why, and, lions and blah, blah, blah. And so I accepted it, and I didn't look into it for a long time. And I thought that meat was healthy for you and all that stuff, all these lies that we've all been taught, and I just unlearned it. I was like, you know what, this doesn't make sense. If a animal can live because I eat, PB&J versus a hamburger, fruits and vegetables, which are much more healthy than a PB&J, versus chicken, then why not? It's saving an animal's life. And when it comes to animals you don't have to see, we forget about it. It's just about making change within ourselves. We've created an era of lots of war and destruction, and we need to replace it with an era of peace.
we're destroying the planet, but that's nothing new. I didn't want to hear it, we can't hide from the truth. We all know what society should do, but when it comes to ourselves, we don't have a clue. So much of our suffering tied to animal abuse, but we keep taking like we got nothing to lose. We don't like to look so we can have an excuse, but now that's all gone, cause I'm telling you,
I stopped consuming animal products after I watched Earthlings. It really just opened my eyes to what's actually going on in the animal product industry and how abusive and difficult it is to watch. Cowspiracy also gives really good insight into the impact that consuming and raising animals for slaughter has on the world, has on the earth, and therefore it has on us. It's on Netflix. Another movie on Netflix, Forks Over Knives, which discusses how a plant-based diet can help reverse and slow down many common diseases. Finally, we have the video that I stopped eating animals, aka meat, after. And that's Timothy Sheaf's Why I Stopped Eating Meat. If we want a better world, we gotta start making ourselves better. Peace and love, guys.
100 years of fighting has left the world scarred and divided. But with the Avatar's help, we can get it back on the right path and begin a new era of love and peace.